guys, so if you clicked on the link, you probably already know by now I got injured in my first Enduro over the weekend of the 18th. It's the first time ever doing an Enduro race before, and the day before I did some pre-riding. The conditions were very wet, very slippery, but I was able to make it through most of the courses that I was going to run the next day. Then the next day happens. I had a fall on the first run, but got back up, did pretty well. The next 2 or 3 runs I did fairly decent. And then I was on a run called all the way down, and unfortunately I accidentally took the wrong line. And to be honest with you, the trails weren't really mapped out, or let's just say the A and B lines weren't technically, I guess, visible. There was no sign saying which were A or B, and I had planned to take all the B lines, and then after the second drop I just lost track of where I was, and the next thing I know I'm going over the bars off of like a 6-foot ledge. Land on my shoulder, primarily my right shoulder, my dominant shoulder. I did crack my helmet. I had a full face helmet that I cracked pretty intensely, so it did its job. Unfortunately, that helmet is no longer viable. And with this fall, I sustained a grade 3 AC separation on the right side. Luckily, I don't need surgery, even though I did tear 3 ligaments, my acromioclavicular, my conoid, and my trapezoid ligaments. I don't necessarily need surgery. Let them heal on their own. Probably gonna have what's called a step deformity, so my shoulder's gonna look a little ugly, but hopefully I should get about 97-98% back of what I used to have in my right shoulder. But it's just very unfortunate. So now I'm in the process of going to PT and getting myself better. I've been going every day since my injury. And I've seen quite a bit of results so far. My passive range of motion is pretty good. Active range of motion is still not the best. Strength, still have a lot of ways to go with that. But just a very unfortunate accident. Taking 2 weeks off from work, however, still going to PT, because I think this is one of those injuries that if I don't need surgery, I definitely need PT. And you know, if you're the kind of person that's had this type of injury, I think you should definitely go to PT as soon as you can, as long as you're cleared by your orthopedic surgeon, which I was. So I have some radiographs that show the separation between my collarbone and my acromion. Together they're called the acromioclavicular joint. Luckily I didn't break anything else. My ribs hurt pretty bad. I think my GoPro smashed into my chest when I landed, and I bent my gimbal, so that thing's done. Luckily my bike is great. My handlebars were a little bit crooked post-accident, but the bike's in great shape, so that's great. My head's intact, my spine's intact, so that's amazing. In the hospital, they did a CT scan of my head and my chest to make sure that I didn't have any internal bleeding. One, primarily because I cracked my helmet. But this is going to be, put me down for the count for a couple weeks. I need to get stronger, and I'll probably be off my bike for quite a while, but that's okay. I mean, my plan is to continue riding. I'm not going to let this deter me from trying new things like my first ever Enduro. Will I ever race Enduro again? I like to think so. But as I get older, I don't heal quite as fast, and with my career, I have to be able to use my arms and hands to treat my patients, and so I have to kind of figure what's the best way to have fun but still keep my profession viable. So with that being said, this video is all about my experience with my crash, and you'll get to see my crash here at the end of the video, and just kind of what I'm going through and some basic exercises that you can start doing. But again, the best thing you should do is go see your local PT. See if this is something that they recommend for you. We are the movement specialists, so don't do things if you're not comfortable doing them. Always seek out professional advice. There's about 6 different types of grades for the AC joint separation. Today we're just going to chat about the 1 through 3. The first one being just a basic sprain of the ligaments themselves, irritated, hurts with movement. Then we move into grade 2, where you actually tear the acromioclavicular ligament, but here the clavicle does not actually rise up compared to a grade 3. And then we move into grade 3, which is what I have, where I tore the AC ligament, the conoid ligament, and the trapezoid ligament. So you will clearly see on an x-ray the clavicle rising above the acromion process.
Behind, right. You all right, buddy?
No. Yeah.
And on this final note, I just want to say that I'm doing pretty darn well, all things considering, and I really feel like I could, you know, take over the world. So, remember guys, those who endure shall conquer. Peace.